Hi, welcome to another edition on computational design for architects. In this edition, I'm going to show you how to create a Grasshopper to ArchiCAD live connection in order to do form design and drive the design using a Grasshopper script. The minimum requirements for hardware and software are listed in this slide. Take a look, note it, and the more the memory, the better the performance. The workflow between Grasshopper and ArchiCAD, in order to establish this live connection, you need to go through these following steps in this slide and the coming two slides. I'm not going to read through each of the steps. You can always come back and refer to these steps. But I will be doing a live demo so that you get an idea of how easy or how difficult it is to use Grasshopper as a tool to design for concept design, especially for form building forms. Once you establish this live connection between Grasshopper and ArchiCAD, you can manipulate the building form using the number sliders inside the Grasshopper, which drive and will give you a immediate feedback inside the ArchiCAD. You may have to create a couple of what we call building objects or the families in order to get more detail into your building form. This is the overall script, or what we call the Grasshopper definition, which drives this particular building form, which consists of a podium for podium design and a tower for tower design. And you notice that there are these number sliders. By manipulating them, you can create different forms and different variations of the building volume or the building shape. Okay, let's deep dive inside Grasshopper and also ArchiCAD and see how we can do this. So before we open the ArchiCAD, I need to download a context 3D file, which means that I want to uh, do my architectural design with all the buildings surrounding it in the context, so I can see how does my design gel with the rest of the buildings which are there on the street. So I'm going to go to this. I have already been to this cadmapper.com and registered here. It's free, and then I sign in, and as my previously downloaded map, I have already got it here, which is where the Shenton Way area. So my plot is somewhere here in the intersection of Union Street and Shenton Way area. So you can select the Rhino 5 format, and you can say 3D buildings are required. Then road geometry should be mesh surfaces, and the widths of the highways and other roads, you can keep it at default. One more thing to note is that if the area of capture is more than 1 square kilometers, you need to pay. Otherwise, if it's 1 square kilometers or less, it will be free. So you set your area and also the location where you want to capture, then click on create file. Depending upon the bandwidth, it may take about a few seconds for you to generate the context area, and this area here is our new proposal for our new building form, and we will now import this inside ArchiCAD and draw some footprints here for the podium and the tower block, and change the parameters of these footprints and see how a building form looks with respect to the context here. So download this file. This is a 3DM file, and then click and save it to your hard drive. Now let me open my ArchiCAD file and the Rhino Grasshopper file. So you see here I've already loaded the Grasshopper definition, and you can see some of the nodes. These boxes are called nodes. They are red and orange in color because they require certain input from my ArchiCAD model here, and once I connect and give the input, then I should be able to run this script and have a dynamic feedback from my ArchiCAD. So let me load that downloaded file from the cadmapper.com. Go to File, Open, and then choose a 3DM file format, and then I will use this one, which is just now I've downloaded, and click on Open. So that file gets open here, but if you don't see it, you have to click on this fit in Windows or Zoom Extend, and you will see that this is the context which I downloaded, which looks like this in 2D. And if I go to my 3D, and this is how the plot or the piece of extent of the city map which I have downloaded. That's going to be my site area here. If I show you in a view here, you can see that if I enlarge here, yeah, this is the Shenton Way here, and that's the Union Street. So the plot is here somewhere behind this building. So let's go to our 2D, and then we will now establish a live connection between ArchiCAD and Grasshopper. So how do we establish this connection? In order to establish this connection, you need to first download a live connection plugin and install it inside the Graphisoft ArchiCAD. And once you do, you will, under the file interoperability, you will see this option called Grasshopper connection. If you don't install the plugin, this will not be visible here. So I click on the Grasshopper connection, and currently it is not connected. When I click on the start connection, then the ArchiCAD tries to see if there is a Grasshopper file open. If so, it will try to establish, and then when the connection is established, it will tell you the name of the file with which it has a live connection. My tower1.gh is my script, which is now driving whatever geometry we want to drive here. Alright, now you see all the reds and yellows have disappeared, and now here is my footprint for the tower block, and here is the footprint for the, sorry, this is the tower block and this is the podium. So I go here and right click and select the, right click on the 2D curve and say set one 2D curve in ArchiCAD for the podium design, and then I click on this, and similarly one click here and select one set 2D curve for the tower block. Okay, once I have done that, the 3D form should be available. So if I go to my 3D view here, and then it takes some time depending on the speed of your computer. Yeah, you can see that the form has been created here. So this form currently has a few levels here for podium, 6 levels or so, and then few levels for the tower block, which are driven by this what we call the number sliders. For example, the podium is currently 30 meters high. If I put it under, let's say, 20 meters, you should see that it will reduce the height of the podium, and also make sure that the tower block will start from the last level of the podium all the way up to the height. Similarly, for the tower block, if I reduce the height of the tower block, maybe I make it half the height or less than half, you will notice that the tower block will get also shortened. Of course, it looks a bit funny, so let's put it back onto 130 meters, and let's play a little bit about the other forms where we can manipulate them. For example, I want the scale factor to be more than 1, which means the footprint or the floor plate on the lower level should be less than the footprint on the higher level. So you notice now that it has it has become an inverted pyramid like that. And also the twisting of the block, I want to twist it by, let's say, a higher angle, about 56 degrees, and then you notice now my floor plates get twisted. The best part of this kind of parametrically driven design tool is that anything which is connected to this building form, like this balconies for instance, or the facade, which is a quite simple design here, also get updated. For example, if the floor plate becomes bigger, or if the balcony, if you think that the balcony width is too small, we have a parameter here which drives the balcony width. Where is it? It should be somewhere here. Yeah, there it is, define balcony. Currently it is 1.2, it's very small. Maybe we make it double, or maybe 3.4 meters, then the balcony will become bigger, and also the floor slab, the handrail, everything gets automatically updated, because the script is driving not only just the floor plate and the area, and also the profile of the handrail and the balcony balustrades. So now you get an idea of what you can do with just a simple couple of options available. You can of course add more options if you want to manipulate the building form. And the other part is that you can export this file into BIMX or some other format which can be brought into a rendering engine, and then we can show you how this looks like inside this rendering engine. That will be the part 2. But here, if I want to export BIMX, publish BIMX hypermodel, mine is not highlighted because I'm not using the license here, because this is a read-only, so it's like a demo version of the software. So in my next video I will show you how to get this into a rendering engine or a rendering software for you to walk through, drive through, fly around, and then look at your creation. So thank you for patience, and let's revisit on the next video. So have a nice day. Bye bye.